Hello. I'll be real, this is a very quick video because I'm working on one that is a lot more lengthier. It's not English. A lot lengthier and a lot more controversial. So I'll do this one, which is, easy listening or easy watch. Well, not easy watching because you got this ugly mug in front of you drinking tea. I want to talk about punishment v rehabilitation. And how the prison system in many countries around the world don't encourage rehabilitation. Firstly, law is subjective. Law changes everywhere you go. If law was the backdrop to morality, then every single country would have the same laws because we'd all work on the same moral compass. But that's just not how it goes. Every single country has their own laws based on how they see the world. So domestic violence in some countries is legal, and in some countries it's illegal. I'm of the opinion that, and I hope you have this opinion as well, that it should be illegal, but there are countries in the world where they say it's fine if a man hits his wife. Just because something is culture, something is tradition, doesn't mean I have to sit there and nod my head and respect it, because if something is objectively wrong, then it is objectively wrong. But that is just to make the point that law is not objective, it's subjective. It's based on how that group of people see things. So let's go for something that almost every country in the world has a law, has something that is legal, which is murder. You're serving your time in a place which doesn't encourage your rehabilitation back into society. A lot of people will argue that people who do first degree murder, people who kill, should be killed themselves and should have the death penalty. That's a different argument. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth is a tricky one, but again, I'm not here to discuss the death penalty, so that's aside. Let's assume that person is going into the prison system to be rehabilitated, because that again is what prison is about, is to turn someone who did something very bad into functioning members of society. The prison systems around the world today don't rehabilitate. They don't make you people who then go back into a society to function. They punish you. They turn your life upside down and they make you believe that you're a villain. There are some truly evil people out there who I don't think should see the light of day, but if you kill someone and you did it in a fit of rage, you did it in a fit of anger, doesn't excuse it, doesn't make it right. You have been put in a prison though to be rehabilitated, and if you're in there for a certain amount of time and you're due to be let out within your lifetime, I think that you should be let out as someone who can function within that society. You see a lot of people who leave prisons that can't merge back into society because they're either too paranoid, they've been traumatized too much in prison, or they again have been villainized so much to believe that they can't be good people outside of a space where everyone is a villain. There are crimes which, don't get me wrong, I don't believe people should see the light of day for. That includes rape, that includes first degree murder, planned murder. I can't see that as a justification for you to leave prison, if I'm being very honest. Paedophilia, don't believe you should be outside in society. The way that people treat criminals though, who have done petty crimes or accidentally killed someone, or again killed someone in a fit of rage or heated moment, I think is very problematic, because someone could have done something very bad in a moment where they weren't in their best, and that defines your life. So away from the crimes that I listed, that I don't believe they should be back into society, the other crimes like drug dealing, theft, they all have context. They all have reasons as to why someone has committed that crime. Someone doesn't steal most of the time because they want to. Because most of the time when people steal food, when they shoplift, it's because they are hungry. It's because they want something to eat. It's because they don't have money to do so. The same with drug dealing. To demonize those people and then to put them in a space where they are villains and then shove them out into society and tell them to live while convincing them in that place that you are a villain, you are a villain, you are a villain, you are a bad person, you are here to be punished. Go. How do you think they're going to join back into where you dragged them from? If you treat them like people who don't deserve respect or don't deserve empathy, then what you get is the exact opposite of what your system claims to be for, which is rehabilitation. A country that does it well is, no surprise, Norway. Norway does it really well in that it treats its prisoners with dignity. It doesn't excuse their crimes, it doesn't give them a pass, it just treats their prisoners with dignity. There are obviously maximum security prisons in Norway where people have done heinous crimes that no, you're in there and you're in there for quite a while because what the hell. But there are people who genuinely do crimes and somehow in another system it would define their life. But in Norway it wouldn't. It's just, you're here, we're going to rehabilitate you, we're going to give you qualification, we're going to give you skills, we're going to give you knowledge, so that when you're done your time here and you get back into society, you can function. Count how many times I said function in society in this video, baby. You can function, you can be a member of the society that we dragged you out of. I think it all depends on the crime. I do believe there are some crimes where the person should suffer, in my opinion. I think there are some people out there who genuinely love to see people hurt, and people like that shouldn't see the light of day. Lock the door and throw away the key. There are some crimes out there which I don't believe are forgivable, in my opinion. Many crimes are forgivable, and rehabilitation is the way to proper rehabilitation, not the system we've got now. I'll only speak about the UK and the US because the US prison system is very well documented outside of the US as well. Here in the UK is bad. It's bad. You leave a worse person than you are generally. Obviously there are some exceptions to the rule where people spend that time doing what they need to do, keep their head down, but most of the time if you put a bunch of people who do crimes together in a room, you're probably going to end up with people doing crimes together just in that room. I think the prison system nowadays for people who can be rehabilitated doesn't rehabilitate them. It just makes them into worse people. It chews them up, spits them out and tells them that this is who you are and that's it for the rest of your life. I want to see more programs where people who can be skilled, people who can have qualifications, give them those qualifications, give them those skills. Get them doing something. It's not just for them, it's, if we're talking about the economy, it's good for the economy as well. To get them properly contributing. I'm all for rehabilitation for people who deserve it. Sometimes what you do haunts you for the rest of your life, 100%. Especially when it comes to killing someone. But it shouldn't define your life. Yeah, so this was a short one. This was just me talking about this one subject. Because of this pack of cards again. They're good, they get you thinking, and it's the reason why I'm even making it. If it wasn't for this box, I probably wouldn't have it. It was in the shot the whole time, wasn't it? So if you got knowledge, you would have seen it. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Goodbye, have a good life. Good life? Have a good evening, or whatever, whenever you're watching. It's good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Bye-bye.